This is Matt, Markos, and Justin. We're going to talk about the TI Nspire.
All right. So the first thing we're going to go with right here, we know a lot of you probably already used the calculator before. Mrs. Boujde pointed out that some of you might be new to the Nspire, so we'll show you a couple of the buttons you should know and how to navigate around. And then we'll talk a little bit about graphing stuff. So me, Justin, and Matt all do that together.
Yeah.
So here we go. So to turn on the Nspire, there's an on button right here. If you click it, oh my God, it's like magic.
Whoa!
Turns on.
Whoa!
All right. So as you can see, you can calculate, you can graph, you can create a new document, and all these buttons down here are pretty irrelevant. These are just things you can add to a blank document. The only thing I found documents useful for is for writing down any notes when you go to the AP exam. It's not cheating because it's in your calculator. They don't really care. Ask Mrs. Boujde about that later on. Okay, so to select anything on the TI Nspire, you click the middle button up here, right there. So if you want to calculate something, boom, we click it. So we're at the calculating page right here. Obviously, there's a bunch of numbers that you guys can use, different cool stuff. One of the most important buttons of the year is going to be the magic menu. So this button right here, right under delete, right there. If you click that, there's a bunch of different functions right here of operations that you could use. You can put things into fractions, exponents, square roots, cubic roots. Absolute values are like right there. Limits, when you guys learn how to do limits, and integrals.
Derivatives.
Yep, and derivatives right there. So there's a bunch of different things. This is going to be a very helpful menu for you guys throughout the year.
Really exciting stuff.
Yeah, very interesting. And if you want to leave from everything, you don't know how, you don't want to turn your calculator on and off, you just go to the escape button and you just leave from there. Something Mrs. Boujde asked us to do is show you guys how to get decimals. So let's say you have 7/8. If you click enter right now, it'll give you the fraction. To get a decimal, you go control, enter, and then it'll give you a decimal value.
0.875.
Yep, that's 7/8. Thank you, Matt. Down here, something very important is the trig functions right here. There's a trig button right there. You can find all of them. If you wanna look at the natural logs and the e's and all those functions are all right here. The button that you see is the button that you'll get. So that's e to the x. But if you click Control E, you'll get the natural log, as you can see right above E. Alright, so, sorry, let's go back here. To navigate through graphs and calculations, you only have to click this button right here. So instead of going to the home page every time and switching between graphs and calculations, you can just click that button right there, and it'll take you straight to graphing and graph. And Matt will talk to you guys a little bit about how you can analyze certain graphs. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's alright, sorry. Alright, guys. So we're going to talk about graphs. So we're going to start off. Let's just graph a function real quick. So I like to go to the home page, and I go down to the graph button right there. Just click that button. That's okay. There we go. So let's just graph a basic function. We'll do.
This is in the documents. This started a new document.
Yeah. So we're gonna do. Let's do x squared plus 5. Let's just see what that does. And then so you just plug it in. You use that variable down there, x, as your variable. Click enter. So we got a function. So now I can only see like the bottom, like the butt of the graph, right? So I gotta adjust my window. So I click the menu button right there. There's actions, view, graph entry, edit. You go to window zoom, click on that, and then you can set your like parameters in a different menu. But I just like to go to zoom in or zoom out. So you click on that, and it's got this little tab guy. Then you see this mouse here. I put it right. Try to get as close to the center of the graph as possible. So now I have an adjusted window. So now I can see the graph at a pretty good window. So now let's look at some other things we can do. We can also analyze the graph or trace it. So analyzing the graph is really good because if a problem asks for like a zero function or like the zeros of the function or minimum, maximum, or intersection, if you graph two graphs on one document, you do that. So let's just find the minimum. So you just click on that, and then it's got this this marker here. So if you know your minimum's right here, you have to select an area before it, and then you just scroll over. It might lag a little bit, and then you click that, and then so my minimum is at 0.5. So let's see here. What else can I do? We can also, we know there's no maximum because it's a parabola. Let's find an intersection. So I'm gonna graph another graph on top of this. So I hit the tab button, gives me another function. So I'm gonna graph x cubed. Let's see here. Hard to do this upside down. So we're gonna do x cubed, right? So now we can find the intersection by clicking menu, analyze graph, intersection. So then it'll find an intersection. Once again, you just kind of select before and after the intersection point, and the calculator will find it. So then my intersection is that number right there. You can also grab onto a text if it's in the way of like other stuff. It's hard to read. If I can do it. Uh-oh. I don't know. I'm going. Okay. Well, usually you can grab it, but so that's my intersection point.
You just hold on to it, and you see the little hand as soon as it closes. That means you have it.
You can move
it around.
Yeah, exactly.
And then once you want to release it, you just click it again, and
Yeah.
it keeps it in that spot.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's some basic graph usage.
Yeah. We'll shift back just for a second. Something very important that you guys should know is we're gonna go back to this menu function right here because this can talk a lot about the things that you guys will do this year. When you go to menu and calculus right here, you guys will learn this eventually. You guys can find derivatives when you guys learn what those are with Mrs. Boucher. And